There is an old debate from old TSR D&D. The debate is over the backstab rule. I did a recent video squashing that debate fully. I explained that the backstab rule required a shorter blade to be held by the thief to use for their backstab move, hence why it's called backstab. A thief does a backstab when they have quietly sneaked up on the target. They grab the target so the target cannot get away. Then they thrust the blade into the body as hard as they can, because at that point the target can't get away. And the combination of holding the target there and the thrust of the blade, given that the blade will go into the body, hitting organs, you're guaranteed to do a lot of damage that you normally might not do if you were just attacking from the front. Over the years, people have debated that you could use a club from behind, or you could even shoot an arrow from a bow and count that as a backstab that allows you to do more damage. Here is the difference between the game developers and designers and the people making that argument about the club and the arrow. The designer looked at things in a realistic way. The people making the argument that you could use a club, for example, they look at the game like a video game. Explain yourself, Condor. What do you mean? Well, I am saying that the game designer sees the thief as a thief and not someone who is a combat specialist or used to fighting. They are not going to train at combat moves in the same way a warrior would. They would never put that much time to it. Meaning, if they do train to do a combat maneuver, it is going to come with limitations that a warrior probably won't face. With backstab, the non-combat specialist thief is looking to do guaranteed damage. Well, first, you're not holding the target in spot if you're shooting an arrow, so likely you're doing the same damage from behind as you would do from the front. It just might be easier to hit the target from behind, but you don't have the target held in place, so, they take more from that arrow. If you're holding someone and they're trying to get away, you can still do a lot of damage, guaranteed damage, with a blade. But there is no guarantee that you're going to be doing a massive amount of damage with a club holding someone in place. They're going to move, they're going to jiggle, so there's no guarantee. A blade gives some guarantees. So, when the person who made backstab made the rule, they were looking at the situation in a realistic way. Not from the point of view of a video game where you just assume a combat specialist suddenly can do anything in combat on the same level as the warrior. And remember, why is it important that the warrior really is, known for what they do, fighting and being, good at it in a unique way, unlike others? That is what separates that class from the other classes. And each class, has their unique thing that they bring to the table. The thief is not a combat specialist. That is not what they bring to the table. In my opinion, non-warrior based characters should have to go through 2 or 3 combat encounters before they start rolling at normal. Meaning they should face minuses on things like their attack rolls and so on until they have adjusted, to the stress and chaos of combat. I don't always enforce that in my game, but when I get experienced players that want to be challenged, I definitely enforce that reality onto the game. If we play these games and view these games like they're video games, why bother? Video games as is does a better job of that. Just go play an actual video game. Why waste your time doing it here? Look at the amount of time you have to put into this. Why would you bother just playing something that is like a video game, but not as good as actual video games? If you play this like an MMO video game, I have to look at you like you're silly. The actual MMO video games that are on the market will actually do a better job at this than you. One of the things that separate TTRPGs from, say, a video game is a level of complexity that comes from things like realism. And when we approach the game like that, we are above video games. Video games cannot do that, not now, and probably not for a long time. So if you're doing something with a TTRPG that is more advanced than video games, why would you downgrade and start doing something that is not as advanced as the MMO video games on the market today? Okay, for now, take care. You know what you can do? You can hit the like button. You can share the video. Oh, and there's another button you can press. That one that lets you subscribe to my channel for more content. Oh yeah, there's that bell thing. You can press that so you know when I've uploaded a new video right away.